pattern which is only possible in the PTE. No other exam does that. And you get not only the score for that particular module, but also the adjoining or adjacent modules as well. So similarly in writing, task 1, which is summarized written text, this particular task gives you score for writing and reading. Okay. And task 2 is an essay writing. You will have to write an essay given, an essay given on the given topic on the exam day. And you don't get there is no extra scoring for other modules in task 2. But in task 1, you get scored for your writing as well as for reading. Okay. So in this entire writing module, the minimum number of questions that you might get is minimum of 2 to maximum of 4 questions. Okay, entire writing module, you will get minimum 2 to maximum of 4 questions. Okay, so there can be 1 summarized written text and 1 essay writing. There can be 2 summarized written text and 1 essay writing. There can be 2 essays and 1 summary. So any combination can come. So the minimum number of questions that you can get altogether is 2 to 4. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So in the summarized written text, you are going to get a passage, and from the passage, you will have to devise a summary in 1 single sentence. Okay, in a 1 single sentence, that means it will start with a capital letter and end with a full stop. In a 1 single sentence, you have to write a summarization, which will be of word count of minimum of 5 to maximum of 75 words. Okay, you cannot write less than that, of course, because it will not make a sensible summary if you write in less than 5 words. And more than writing is also not permissible. And for this summarized written text, you get 7 points for your writing module, but it also gives you score for reading. When we will take this up in our course of time in this week, we're going to discuss more in details about how you get score for the reading part. Okay, coming to task 2, which is an essay writing. In this, they're going to give you a topic. You have to understand the theme, you have to understand the question, what they've asked you, and write the essay in the proper structure, with clear-cut information, forming the proper paragraphs, and sentences must be logical and meaningful as such. Okay, you're not required to write too much. The minimum word count is 200 to maximum of 300. Again, you do not, if you write less than 200, your points get affected. If you write more than 300, your points get affected. So within 200, it can be 210, 220, to 280, to 290, but not exceeding 300. You get 20 minutes to do this task. Okay, so task 1, summarized written text, you have 10 minutes, as you can see here, and your essay writing is for 20 minutes. Okay, so there is a possibility if you get 2 questions, 1 summarization and 1 essay writing, you are spending how much time? You will be spending 30 minutes, right?
Yes.
If you get 1 summary and 1 essay, you're spending 30 minutes of your time. But if you are getting, suppose, 2 essay, okay, 2 essay and 2 summary, there can be possibility, like there are 2 to 4 questions altogether. So there can be 2 essays and 2 summary. So 2 essays means you're spending 40 minutes here, and summarization again 20 minutes, because 2 summaries are there, 10 each. So overall 1 hour in writing goes. On the other hand, if you get 3 essay and only 1 summary, only 1, so you're spending 3 into 20, 60 minutes in essay and 10 minutes for your summary, which is 70 minutes, which is the maximum time you can spend in your writing module. Nothing can go beyond this. So maximum time is 70, minimum time can be 30 minutes. Okay, so depending on number of questions you get on the exam day, you will be able to understand. Now, nobody will tell you how many questions are there in writing. Okay, after the reading section gets completed, automatically when you press the next button and the OK button, the screen will come with the summarized written text first. Okay, and first you complete it, do it in the stipulated time, that is 10 minutes. Then you press the next button, press OK. Again, you will see a next question of summarization. So you will have to do it. You are not let know beforehand how many questions you are going to get in the writing section. As the screen takes you, you have to work along with it. Okay, but every time press the next button, because without the next button, the computer will not take you to the next question. Okay, so as the time is up, the computer screen gets frozen. Okay, so they will ask you, do you want to move on to the next one? Yes or no? To press the yes, as such. Otherwise, it will not take you. So coming to task 2, we'll discuss this in more in details in today's and in for 2 to 3 days as such. We'll talk about different types of essays that you might get in the exam, and we will be also sharing some templates which will help you to create your sentences for your body, for your introduction, and for your conclusion paragraphs. That can keep it easier for you. You do not have to think of opening the sentences. But yes, the theme and the ideas are yours. You have to create those ideas and write them down, express them in clear-cut sentences, right? So this is the thing. So in essay writing, we get 4 types of essays in common. These are type 1, which is agree, disagree essay. So we say the type 1 essays agree, disagree. Agree, disagree essay means either you will give, you have to give your opinion. You have to give your decision or whichever side you want to support with. So whether you agree or whether you disagree, you can't take a neutral side. Okay, so given a statement, do you agree with it? Write in favor of that, why you agree with it. If you disagree with it, write reasons why you disagree with it. Okay, so it's a very important type of an essay which you normally get in your PTE exam, where you have to state your opinion clearly, express it very articulately in your write-up. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Such type of an essay can come about 40 to 50 times in your real test. The possibility of this essay coming is maximum in the PTE exam. Followed by that is a type 2 essay that you might get, where they ask you to write both the positive and negative sides, both. Okay, advantages and disadvantages, they might say merits and demerits of the given topic. So both the sides you will discuss of the given topic, how it is beneficial and how they are also can cause danger. Both they can discuss in the exam, and this essay also has a fairly good chance of coming. But yes, it is less than type 1, and type 1 is more important, followed by type 2. Type 3 is where they give you choose one option and explain. So they give you some options within the essay topic and to choose one of them and state why you want to support that. Okay, so you will have to talk about your opinion, but here it's on the basis of the choice that you are making out of the 2 or 3 options that they've given you in the topic. From that, you have to choose one and explain the reasons behind selecting that and why aren't you selecting the other 2. Okay, so why are you selecting one, and also why aren't you selecting the other one? Also, you need to explain in this type of an essay. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
The last type is about causes and solutions. So here they're going to give you a problem, a serious problem that the country is facing, or a problem that society is facing these days, like technological addiction towards technological gadgets, that kind of problem, or problems like power pollution, problems like malnutrition, all these kinds of serious problems they might give you. And they might ask you to tell you to find the reasons behind this problem and how one can mitigate this problem, how one can curb this problem. So this type of an essay is causes and solutions essay. However, this type of an essay has very little chances of coming in the exam, but still, in case you get it, we'll give you a brush through about how to write this kind of an essay as well. Okay, coming to the structuring of writing this essay. In your real exam, you're going to get a text box like this, right? Before above the topic will be there, the theme and the question. And here you're going to get the text box. You should always start writing from the left-hand side. Okay, you should never leave 2 finger spacing or any gap from the margin. You start writing from the left-hand side. And the first paragraph that you're going to write of an essay is what? What is the first paragraph of an essay?
Introduction.
Introduction, right? So in the introduction, what do we write? What do we write in introduction? Yes. introduction, what do we, when we introduce an essay in the first paragraph, we mean we are trying to tell the examiner, okay, that what is the topic all about and what we are going to discuss in this essay. Whether you discuss about, yes, tell me, sorry, Fatima.
The main idea of this.
The main idea we are going to talk about, yes, so what we're going to discuss, whether we're going to discuss about my opinion, we're going to discuss about my advantage, disadvantage, we're going to discuss about the problem. So what I'm going to do in the write-up, I tell it in the introductory paragraph. It is also important that you need to paraphrase the given topic in your own words. The given topic that is there, you should not rewrite in the same way in your introduction. It is very important to show your vocabulary skills, to show your skills of language. You need to use some alternatives and try to paraphrase the given topic in your own way, keeping the meaning same, okay? It's not that whatever topic is given, you rewrite in the form of other words, in the form of your alternatives, but to change the meaning of the sentence. That shouldn't happen. The meaning has to remain same. Okay, for example, if they ask you discuss the advantage, disadvantage of online education. Okay, so this is the topic given to you. So online education is your theme. You have to paraphrase this. So you can say learning on virtual media, okay, distance learning, okay, learning through distance, getting educated through distance learning programs. So you have to use alternatives which are similar in meaning to what your topic is. Okay, so that is where you will get scored for, because you have score for vocabulary, and that is also gives you score for your enabling skills as well. As I told you, the pattern in which PTE scores are not only gives you score for your particular module, along with that you also have to gain score on the enabling skills like grammar, vocabulary, spellings, which are also part of your writing section. Okay, so try to use alternatives. Okay, if you get less number of alternatives in your mind, at least you should try to space it out. Do not try to repeat it very frequently. Okay, if you have to space it out so that the essay does not look so very redundant. Okay, if you repeat the same word often, then it becomes very redundant. So try to use various alternatives, and that's the reason you need to utilize some time for your groundwork before you start writing. Did you get me? So we'll talk about all those things. So introduction, we introduce the given topic in our own words. Along with that, we also state what we're going to discuss in this essay. After writing the introduction, so there should be no heading about the topic heading given, nothing you should write. Just write the introduction. Do not write subheading like introduction and then write introduction. You just have to write the paragraph of introduction from the left-hand side. Give proper spaces after every word. After full stop, give a space. Don't forget these things. Okay, after comma, give space. Okay, and then after writing the paragraph, you should leave a one-line spacing. That's a must. One-line spacing, and start your next paragraph, which is your, what is the next paragraph? Tell me, Swarna. What will be the next paragraph after introduction?
Body
paragraph. In the body, what do? We explain on the given topic with our own ideas, with our own reasons, also with given examples. Okay, we should try to state some examples to clarify our idea. If we do not clarify our idea without examples, the essay seems to be very much, it's like, it's not very clear. Okay, it becomes unclear. It becomes really difficult for to gauge your thinking process. Okay, so example is a must. Okay, although it is checked by computer, but you need to write here. You give a reason, you give your own idea, but the idea has to be followed by an example. Now, how many ideas shall I write? That's a very common question being asked. It depends all on your thinking ability. You can write 2 ideas, you can write 3 ideas. One idea with an example can lead to shortage of word count. So I would say at least 2 ideas with 1 example is needed. Okay. Same way, after you write the body para 1, you leave one line spacing and write body para 2. Here also give at least 2 ideas followed with at least 1 example. So first idea, you can give an example. That's what our template tells you. After every idea, after the first idea, We have stated in the template to give an example. So provide an example. This example and the idea must be correlated. Idea talking something else, examples writing something else will not do. Both has to collaborate, okay, and both has to be related with each other. These examples can be personalized examples, can be general examples, can be fictitious examples, but it has to correlate with your idea. After writing the example, you can write a second idea or a third, how many you can get. Put them into clear-cut sentences. Please try to make your sentences meaningful. You need to know how a noun and the verb forms in a sentence, how there should be a subject, the verb, object, very clear, and write the right verb form in your sentence. All this little bit of grammar will help you to enhance your score in writing and also in the grammatical skill score as such. Okay. After writing your body paragraph 2, leave one line spacing and give the last paragraph, which is the conclusion paragraph. Okay. You need to state. Now, suppose the topic is discuss the disadvantage of online education, I told you. So you need to state in the conclusion, do online education is a benefit or it is more a curse to society. So is it a boon or a curse? That one opinion you have to give. Your suggestions, your recommendations, your viewpoint is what you shared in your conclusion paragraph. Am I clear? Am I clear to everyone? Understandable? Anything difficult? Is it clear, Fatima, Swarna?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So please remember, after every paragraph, you must leave a one-line spacing, and the body paragraphs that you make, okay, body paragraphs that you should make, you should keep a central idea. So when you are talking about body para 1, dedicated to advantages. When you talk about body para 2, dedicated to disadvantages. If you're writing an agree-disagree essay, why I agree to the given topic, is that what you can state in the first paragraph, and why you don't agree with the opposite of the given topic. Okay, for example, if the point is given, what can I say? Traditional music is more preferred than Western music or international music. Okay, do traditional music is more important than Western music? This is the question given to you. Okay, do traditional music is more important than international music? So you selected traditional music is important. You give reasons in one paragraph and why you think international music shouldn't be that much popular, shouldn't be that much be renowned as compared to traditional music, and give reasons for that, because you don't support international music. I'm just giving an example. Okay, so keep your body paragraph strictly adhering to one central theme. Explain that part clearly in the paragraph, and that gives coherence to your essay. Coherence, clarity, understanding. Clear?
Ma'am, one doubt. Telugulo maatladocha?
Sorry, I don't understand Telugu, Swarna.
You don't understand? Okay. Sometimes I need explanation in Telugu also, ma'am. What I want to do now.
Okay. Are you understanding English? Is it comfortable for you?
Comfortable only, but sometimes.
Okay, in that cases, when you have doubts in writing or something, like if you want Telugu, then we'll suggest some Telugu faculty to take a class with you in case to clear your doubts in that case.
Okay, thank you.
That'd be fine?
Fine. Thank you. And I have a doubt. In introduction, we have to write in which topic we are supporting and not supporting. Just
introduce the topic to the, when it's agree disagree essay, tell the exam and tell the in the introduction itself that do you support traditional music, and you're supporting traditional music and not supporting Western music. That should be clearly portrayed in the introduction. Explanation will come in your body paragraphs.
Okay.
Right. So going now towards some things that you should keep in mind while writing. Yeah, so here you also please notice your word count and time will be given. Forgot to mention this. The time is how much time? 20 minutes for essay. So as soon as the screen going to open up, the time is going to rotate in the backward direction. Your typing speed needs to be stupendously high. Otherwise, it is very difficult to manage with less errors. Okay, with accuracy and with high speed, you have to manage your writing. Because you really have to type fast here. Otherwise, the time is very short to complete essay writing. If it's with pen and pencil, it's different. But here it's a typing. So typing skills has to be really being good. Also, the word count will be noticed here. Just see to it that do not write less than 200, not more than 300 words. These three tabs, cut, copy, and paste, is what you can do, what you can cut, copy within the text box. You cannot cut any word from the topic and write it here. You cannot copy any word from the question and write it here. Whatever you want to cut, copy, you can do a word. Suppose you took up a word like, say, understanding, and you took that word, you want to write it somewhere else, you can copy and paste it. Anything doing it in the text box, you can use these three tabs. Okay. So a few things to remember and be careful about: to put the space bar after each word, commas and full stop. Writing, this is a part of your writing discourse, which is also enabling skills, and it's also a part of your essay writing score. You get 15 marks for your essay. So one of the marks is given, 2 marks is given for writing discourse. So whether you have put the space bar after every word, after comma, after full stop, these are being checked. You must always write from the left-hand side and give 1 line spacing after every paragraph. So please remember these 3 things. Along with this, you must not write the entire essay in capital letters. Okay, you should never write essay in all capital letters. You should write wherever it is needed, like starting off a sentence, starting off a paragraph, and wherever you're using proper nouns. Just 1 second, 1 second. Yeah, sorry for the inconvenience, actually. Yeah, so we're saying about capital letters. Hello, you are there? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, so capital letters must be written starting off a sentence, starting off a paragraph, and wherever using proper nouns in the name of places, persons, or any particular things, buildings, all these names, if we're writing, we will write in capital letters. But other than that, everything should be in lowercase. Okay, please remember the letter I. When I say I, strongly recommend that I have to write I in capital letters. I cannot write I in small letters. And many of us do make this mistake. So avoid and keep this in mind. Okay. Avoid using any headings or subheadings. So no headings must be given, topic name, no introduction, body para 1, body para 2, conclusion, no subheadings are allowed. Only essay with 4 paragraphs with 1 line spacing after each paragraph. That's it. Avoid using any kind of highlights. You're not supposed to highlight. Your highlights like underlines are not allowed. Neither you can make the sentences bold. These will not be allowed to you in the exam. Also, using symbols are strictly not restricted. So you should not write in bullet form. You should not write with symbols like and or with percentage symbols. Percentage symbols in example, if you still want to write like 50% of people, that is fine. But other than that, I would say especially bullet points or asterisks should not be given in your writing. Okay. In the same way, abbreviations are not allowed. So you should not put symbols like @, okay, that is also a symbol, and that's also an abbreviation. Or with respect to, WRT, should not write like that, or should not write that is, I dot, E dot, not allowed. Example, you have to write for example, not E dot, G dot. So no abbreviations, because computer cannot read abbreviations. So avoid giving symbols, avoid giving abbreviations. And moreover, since it's an academic test, it is important that you should maintain a formal way of writing and should not use any kind of contractions. Okay, hasn't, can't, wouldn't, shouldn't be written. You should write has not. I will, I and WILL, two separate words. It shouldn't be I apostrophe LL. Okay, it's IT apostrophe S. Okay, should not written like that. It and is, or it has. Both ways you can write, but avoid giving any contractions. Punctuations are important, giving commas at appropriate places, giving full stop. You may not be requiring to give exclamation marks or question marks much, but I think commas and full stop is majorly that you will be needed, some of which are given in our templates. You can follow that strictly, adhere to it. It might help you. But when you're putting your ideas also into sentences, see that you put the commas wherever the pauses need to be given correctly. Please put the commas accordingly. Okay. All right. Now your score for essay writing is 15 marks, as I said, divided into these parts relevant to context. So topic is about online education. You're not writing about traditional classes. Topic is about distance learning. You're not writing something about regular classroom activities. So these things you must be clear. You're not writing something different. It's relevant to context, grammatical range. Can you showcase some kinds of sentence structures, like whether you can write in sentences like active, passive, okay? Active, where the action is done by the doer in that case and not by the receiver. So active and passive voices, if you can write. Complex, compound structure of sentences. A complex sentence, which is like you're putting a clause in your sentence and that is dependent over an independent sentence. For example, it is a very cold day today. Okay, it is little chilling cold in Hyderabad today, whereas in other parts or in the neighboring cities, it is still that sultry hot. So I'm using the word whereas. I'm comparing two things and I'm using the clause whereas. In other parts of the state, it is still sultry hot. Okay, so this way if you can make sentences or compound sentences. Compound means when we're adding some kind of a conjunction like and, but, so, for, nor, yet, those becomes compound type of sentence. So it's a very cold day today in Hyderabad. It seems to be a cold day today in Hyderabad. And it feels like there will be rain very soon. Okay, so and it feels like, it feels, so you're predicting it can rain very soon. So using that kind of sentences show your compound structure. A simple sentence that can stand on its own, we simply say it seems to be a very cold day today in Hyderabad. A simple sentence. So you should try to explore these kinds of sentences when you write, because that helps you to score in your real test a bit, because that will increase, the computer will catch on those sentences and will see that your grammatical range is good. You get a little high edge, and even in your enabling skills, this level increases. Third is the grammatical accuracy, that is the grammar that you're using in terms of the right verb form, whether you're fitting, whether you're making the noun verb agreement clear. The noun is singular, verb is singular, the articles you're putting it correctly, the plural form of the nouns, correct ways. So all these things, your punctuations, your tenses, all this must be checked when you're making a sentence, because it has to, when a sentence is meaningful, when a sentence has a grammatical accuracy, automatically it becomes meaningful, it becomes understandable and logical. So thus, this is a very important part. And here you have 2 marks for it. Spellings, yes, of course, there is no spell check here, so you have to be very careful about spellings. One mistake, for one mistake, they do not reduce your score, but when you make more than one mistake, your score decreases. So too many mistakes can definitely affect your score. And this also, spelling is also given as an enabling score in your real exam. Okay, So there's a communicative skills score, which gives scores for listening, reading, writing, and speaking. And there's enabling skills score, which are given through like spelling separately, grammar, vocabulary, oral fluency, pronunciation, all this. Okay. So you have to also score there to get an overall higher score in the entire PTE exam. Okay. And vocabulary. Vocabulary is a type of words that you're using. Avoid repeating the same word too often. Try to make a different types of alternatives which fits into that topic, which fits into that theme. Okay, do not just give any alternative that you feel like, which has to sync with the given topic and theme. Okay, and vocabulary also means about the connectors that you use when you're writing a paragraph, and when you move from one idea to the next. You should always try to connect the ideas by using some kind of connectors, or joining joining words in the form of like moreover, at the same time, in the same vein, similarly, likewise, and that's not all. So these kinds of words which helps you to bind the paragraph together. When you move from one paragraph to the next also, you have to create a connector. Okay, so that connectors is somewhat given in our template, and you can definitely use them to your writing. Okay, so but using your alternatives is what you have to create on your own. How you need to portray the topic, how you need to write your paraphrase sentence, how you need to express your ideas with using some kind of better vocabulary than the usual ones will help you to expedite your score actually. Okay, if you're looking for a very high score in PTE, this is one area which you need to work. If you're looking for 79 plus, okay, that is what. Okay, so writing discourse is divided into 3 parts, and it all together gives you 2 marks. That's a coherence. So the essay is clarity and understandable, and you have used the proper structuring, you have proper spacing of the words, everything. And linking words, which I just now said, is your connectors. So you're putting the connectors properly. You're not giving a similar information and writing a contrasting connector. Suppose you want to write a similar idea on the advantage of a given topic, and you write in contrast to that connector you choose. That's incorrect connector. Okay, so are you using the right linking words, right connectors or not? Is that what you will be checked also? And is there a proper movement of the paragraph from one part to the next? Sorry, Fatima. Fatima, in between.
Yes, ma'am. Unfortunately, I got disconnected.
Okay, so did you understand the scoring part?
Yes, ma'am.
Maintaining the word count carries 2 marks. Okay, so you will have to be very careful. Please do not write less than 200. Even if it's 205, no problem. Okay, even if it's 210, no problem. And should not be more than 300. 290 if you write, okay. So the more you write, the possibility of making more errors are more. You have only 20 minutes to write an essay, so it is not required that you write too much, because you need to keep time for your proof checking. Okay, so idle count, I would say if you can write between 220 to 240 would be good enough to write an essay. Just see that your sentences that you make are grammatically correct, and you have tried to paraphrase a given theme, and you have used various alternatives in your write-up, showing some kind of language strength, and at the same time spellings are not too many incorrect. Okay, so these things if you keep in mind, you are eligible to get a good score in your write-up. So do not write number of ideas will give me the score. That is never the concept. Number of ideas will never give you the score. It is the quality in which you write the ideas that will help you to pull up your score. Okay, so in doing this writing, we are spending, don't just jump into writing once you get the topic and you see the time is ticking and you get nervous. Some people start writing. They understood the topic mentally and they start writing. When you start writing without having a thought process, doing a proper sketching of your thought process on paper, it becomes really difficult to write, because in between you will stuck up. You will make the sentences confusing, going round and round and round, not give a clarity of what you wanted to write. You have the thoughts in your mind, and when you put them, you get confused as such. So it's always better to sketch a framework before you start writing. and you can use your notepad for that, which we provided to you in the real test. So you can use your notepad. You just have to what? Write about, okay, what is the given topic? Read the given topic, understand the question, find out the keywords in the question. What are the keywords? Jot them down on those keywords on your notepad and try to find the alternatives of those keywords. Okay, read and understand the question first. Please spend a time, please spend 30 seconds, 30 to 40 seconds time in reading the question, understanding it, what I need to do it, which type of essay it is. Okay, then pick up the keywords. What are the keywords? The main words on which the topic stands. So those words, you pick it up, jot them down on the notepad and try to find the alternatives. 4 to 5 alternatives, if you can find, good enough. If you find less, no problem. Don't sit on it for long. That's what my point is. Whatever you find, you keep it there and then now think what I have to write. What will be my body paragraph? What are the ideas I have? If topic is about advantage, disadvantage, what advantages you have, jot them down in bullet points. Do not write a sentence. Just jot down the ideas. Okay, I will write about online education. It's like it's in the comfort of your you can take it anytime, any place. Okay, no physical traveling is required, no exertion is required. You can do work as well as studies, both you can do. So you have these ideas in favor of online education and you can jot them down at the same time. Okay, disadvantages I have to write, jot down the ideas. Okay, what ideas have disadvantages? Yes, it's an expensive affair because we have to have a proper system at home and proper internet connectivity. Otherwise, it's not going to work at all. Okay, it's expense. Secondly, it does not give us a better understanding of the subject because through online education, many things gets unclear. We do not get a proper tutorial assistance over the online platform, which we can get in physical classrooms. So we have these disadvantages. I can jot them down. Only the idea, not the sentence. I'm explaining it to you, so I'm saying in a sentence form, but just the idea to jot it down. Are you getting me? Are both of you trying to say? Idea generation. Just generate the idea. Put them down on paper. Do not make sentence because if you do that, it will take you time. Am I clear? Am I clear to both of you? No?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes? Okay, thanks. Somebody responded. So, Anna, is it understandable?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. So, after the ideas, think of one example. Okay, think of one example. How it helps in work and studies. How a professional can work, and in the evening they can take the courses at the comfort of the home, and they can do it in relaxed form instead of traveling to the institute and taking the classes. So how work and education can go side along. Give an example on that as such, and that's what you have to think. Think of an example for disadvantage. How it's an expensive affair. We need to have a proper system. We need to have a proper internet connectivity, and it's really an expense for people who live in the maybe in the rural areas, in the faraway places where internet connectivity is not very good. Yeah, so that can be a negative point for that. And this is an example that I can think about for that. Yeah, so that way we can need to think about the examples. Examples is not required to put it down on paper. If thinking you can manage, okay. But if you feel like you want to take down the example, but just write the words, I mean, just chunk words, not write the entire sentence, because do not consume more than 4 to 5, I think 5 minutes on groundwork. If this groundwork is done well, I can assure you that your writing will definitely be much better in terms of making into sentences. If grammatically you're sound in English language, you will not have difficulty. If you have a grammatical problem in speaking in English, in thinking about English, then you think those ideas in mother tongue and then try to make it into English form. Okay, but I would say thinking in English would be the best way. Then you can also write them clearly when you form into sentences. Okay, if you think the ideas in mother tongue, generally linguistic difficulties can happen from your mother tongue to the English language as such. So I would say thinking in your own language would be much better. Thinking in your English language would be much better. Okay, that would be helping you to make the sentences more appropriate. So this groundwork, if it is done and you're grammatically or sound, at least to an extent, you are able to create a good score in the writing. It is not a difficult task as such. Okay, and you should, after the groundwork, what we suggest you is you need to know your template by heart, whichever templates we're going to share you for type 1, type 2, type 3, type 4, know them by heart. Type the template in your text box, the text box which was given to you, type the entire template in the text box, keeping the spaces wherever you need to put your ideas, wherein to paraphrase your theme, you need to just keep those spaces. Rest template, you need to type it up and then feed in the information. Later, you will see you can complete your work. You can complete your work in 13 to 14 minutes of your time, provided you have a good typing speed. You really have a good typing speed without making silly errors and spelling mistakes. Okay, and then at least if you have 1 minute or 2 minutes in hand, do check your work. Do check your work in terms of seeing that you put the commas at the appropriate places, there is a space after the commas, and at the same time you should try to see that your words, spellings, little bit, if you can check if any of the words you can change. I know it's very less time, but if you can do it, do it. Okay, because after that time is up, the screen will get froze. You will never get a chance to do anything on the screen as such. Okay, so please utilize the time in this way, giving 4 to 5 minutes for your groundwork. Okay, at least 5 minutes is definitely needed, I feel. Then type the template and feed in your ideas that you have generated into a sentence form logically and meaningfully, and that should be done in 13 to 14 minutes of your time. And last 1 to 2 minutes, if you can do it, check your work, review your work. This is important because many of us, when we write in a different way. We think about and we write it, but we can make some silly errors, especially in the verb form, especially in the punctuations, especially in terms of forgetting to write in capital letters after a full stop, we forget. Okay, so these small errors, try to avoid. Okay, so we're taking up type 2 essay in today's session about advantage and disadvantages. So far, any doubts, any questions both of you have?
No, ma'am.
Clear? Okay, so we're taking up the first topic. Discuss the advantages and disadvantages of studying and living in a foreign country. Discuss the advantage and disadvantage of studying and living in a foreign country. Okay, so what do you understand from this topic? What I have to do? Can you give me the explanation of this topic?
When you're gonna live in foreign country, what the benefits you have, also what the demerits.
What are the benefits you have or demerits? When you live in a foreign country, when you go for studying as well as for living, okay, for these two requirements, if you go to a foreign country, what are the positives and negatives? Is the topic, Swarna, are you able to follow? If you travel to foreign country for studying, what are its merits and demerits? If you travel to foreign country for residing also, for staying, studying and living, okay, if you study and live in a foreign country, what are the positive and negatives? Very clear? Okay, now remember your topic advantage disadvantages. They may not say always advantage and disadvantage in the given exam. They might say merits and demerits. They might say pros and cons. They might say virtues and vices. Discuss the virtues and vices. Discuss the gains and losses as such, or profits and danger. So these kinds of words they might use. Please understand the all represent type 2 essay. Okay, so given the alternatives advantages, given the alternatives of disadvantages, must not make you confused which type of an essay it is, which type of template I will follow. No, you should be able to make it out. Am I clear?
Yes,
so they
ma'am.
might give alternatives. So once I know my topic now, what is the next thing I have to do? What's the next thing I have to do? Yes. I have to
We have to write whether we are supporting or not. Writing. I mean, we want to,
After we understood the topic, what's the next thing you have to do? After we read the question, understand the topic, the next thing is to pick up the keywords and find the alternatives. First do that. So what are the keywords can you see in the topic? What are the keywords?
Studying and living.
Study. Okay. Study. What are alternatives that comes to your mind? Studying, foreign country. What alternatives are studying means here? Studying means you're planning to complete your studies in Australia, suppose. So
Yeah.
studies means what? You can give an alternate. Yes. Yes, tell me. Master. You're going for your higher qualifications. You're going for your higher degrees. You're not going for elementary schooling, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So studying can be said as higher education.
Yes.
Study can be said as seeking higher degrees. Okay. Studying can be said as acquiring specialized knowledge. Specialized because you're doing a master's degree, so specialized in some field. Okay. Maybe post graduations. Yes, people do say post graduation qualification. Okay, what else do you think we can say? Anything else? Gaining, we can say gaining technical skills. Okay, people who go for doing a higher degree of mechanical engineering or computer applications. So technical skills they get, right? So gaining technical skills. Okay, next word is what?
Living.
Living. What do you mean by living now? Other words that comes to your mind when you think about living in a foreign country. Living means a simple word that you can associate living. Swarna, also try. Living. You're living in a foreign, you're going to live in a foreign country. That means you're going to live in a foreign country. What does it mean you're going to? What will you do? Going to, Swarna? Yes. You're going to reside. You're going to stay. You're going to settle down. Isn't it? If I'm saying I'm going to live in Australia, that means I'm going to reside in Australia. I'm going to stay in Australia. I'm going to earn a living in Australia. Okay, I will be earning my livelihood in Australia. Okay, so that I'm going to dwell in Australia. Dwelling also means residing. Dwelling also means living.
As a resident.
I mean, I can be residing. Yeah, resident is what comes from residing. So residing in the foreign lands. So I'm planning to do that. I'm looking forward for that. So living in a foreign country means you can say staying, you can say residing, you can say dwelling, you can say settling down, earning a livelihood,
Pursuing education.
education, since we've already taken up studying. So living
Yeah.
here means due to studies, you might live here. Also, that's what's possible. Because of education, you might stay, live, dwell, settle down, start earning a livelihood in a foreign country. Okay. Try to seek an accommodation in a foreign country. You want to live in a foreign country means seek an accommodation. Okay. Next word is, any other keywords do you see? Studying, living. Any other keywords are there?
foreign country.
Foreign country, yes. Foreign means What do you say other words of foreign?
Abroad.
Very commonly used abroad. What else? Foreign means overseas. Again, you have heard this word, overseas. Okay, overseas education, overseas places. Okay, foreign means non-alien nations. Alien nations. Okay, what else?
Overseas.
Overseas is already here. We can say international places.
Exotic, maybe.
Exotic means beautiful. That's nice. So foreign does not mean exotic. Exotic can be in your home country as well. Exotic places are there to watch, to visit. So alien nations, international places, foreign can be, you can say unknown. Foreign is something that is unknown to you. So unknown regions,
Remote, maybe.
remote, uh, remote countries,
Far,
countries. Sorry.
far flung.
Yes, far flung, far away places. So far flung also you can say. Far flung, far flung regions we have used. So we can say far flung territories
Yeah.
or provinces. You can even use the word provinces. These kinds of words we can say. Distant nations. Okay, distant means also foreign. Distant nations. Yeah, so these kinds of words we can use. Okay, so
Yeah.
once we got our keywords and the alternatives, quickly to get that, not take too much time. How many you just get satisfied with that and move on. Do not keep on thinking, because the more you ponder, you're wasting your time, because it generate the ideas and also start writing. So now coming to the idea generation part. So what do you think are the advantages of studying in a foreign country? What are the positives, do you think, when you study and live in a foreign country? What are the positive sides of it? Yeah. Varna, are you able to follow? Any difficulty?
Oh, no, ma'am.
Share, don't feel hesitant. Since only two of you are there, so you can share your idea, your doubts actually. So what do you think? Why you want to travel to foreign country? Either for education, or you want to seek a job in foreign country, you want to immigrate to foreign country. Why do you want to go that? What are the advantages? No advantage, or are they? Yes, yes.
They may express different style of teaching.
Yes, so we can say that quality of education is better, right?
We can also discover career opportunities.
Yes, so it helps in, because if you get education in foreign countries, it helps in better career opportunities, or helps in career prospects. Okay.
Also, we experience new things.
Like new things means? What do you experience in foreign country?
You
Which
can
are
hone your language skills as well.
you can acquire new language skills, yes. What else? Language skills, different culture, Different culture. This is here I'm doing a groundwork, so I'm using short forms. But of course, you cannot write like this way in the real in your essay. Okay, you write full words. Different culture, acquiring different new language skills, different culture, different customs. Okay, this is what helps you in giving you a global experience of how different countries live, what are the way they work, and this is far away from your own native lands. Okay, so this is a gaining a, you can say, a global exposure. Yes, fine. We have 3 ideas. I think we can do that with that. Let's move on with the disadvantages part now. What negatives do we have for studying and living in a foreign country?
You are far from your family as well. It is expensive too.
The 2 separate ideas then. So it is expensive one, and you stay away from your families. So there is a sense of, we can say, loneliness. Okay, loneliness, and you also might feel a little bit depressed as you stay away from your families. So sense of loneliness
Language barriers, maybe.
language barrier. So, but you're saying you're acquiring new language skills. This is going contradictory to what you have written. What else we can say? Disadvantage can be like expensive that you say, cost of living or cost of education, both are expensive.
Yeah.
Cost of education is exorbitant, which means it is very expensive. What else?
You have to face unpredictable challenges too.
So that's a disadvantage, because you're staying alone, you will have to face it. And because of that facing, you miss your family, you miss your loved ones and closed ones, and you feel sense of loneliness. So it all comes to the same circle of the point 1, where it says, why do you feel lonely? Because there are some challenges. There are some climatic difficulties. There are some other, you have to do things on your own, which in your family or which in your native lands was been distributed by your family members. So here it is a big challenge. Everything has to be done on your own as such. That makes you feel more homesick. Yeah, that's also a nice word. We can say homesickness. Yeah. Anything else? If you don't have idea, no problem. You can write with 2 ideas with 1 strong example. That's also fine. If I have to give a disadvantage of our staying in a foreign country, we can talk about the insecurities, the sense of insecurity that can creep in person's mind because of the growing racial discrimination, racial conflicts that we hear. It definitely creates a sense of unrest among people to settle in foreign countries, to reside, or to look for permanent residentship in foreign countries. Yes, so that can be one of the point, a disadvantage of staying in foreign countries is a sense of, or the growing insecurity towards racism. Okay, security. Racial, due to racial conflicts. Right. Yeah, so I can get 3 ideas for my disadvantages, 3 ideas for my advantages. Now, out of the 3 ideas, try to always think beforehand on what you can give an example and which will support your idea. Okay, any one of which you pick it up, think of the one that you can give an example, and that particular idea you should try to write in the first part of the body paragraph, in the first sentence of the body paragraph. You should try to write that idea, followed which you explain with an example, and then you can give the second or the third idea. Similarly, also in body paragraph 2, out of the 3 ideas, whichever the one you have an example, keep that point as the first, followed by the others. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Is it understandable? So whichever idea you can give an example, keep that as the first one. Rest of the ideas can follow that. Okay, Swarna, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Seems you're not able to understand the session. Is it okay? Not clear? Did you understand the ideas that we shared in the class?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'll just take you to the template then. In your PDF material, you must have got this template. It's in page number 38 of your PDF file, okay, where you give the type 2 template is given to you, okay?
Okay.
So introduction, body paragraphs, and the conclusion. Do not write your subheadings, okay? Please remember this, just write the paragraph. So first introduction paragraph starts with theme paraphrased. This is the theme that you have to paraphrase in your own word and say is relatively a new concept. What is my theme? What is my theme? What is my theme? Swarna, tell me. Theme. What's the theme of the topic? Theme is? Go ahead. Go ahead. What is the theme of the topic? What is the main topic?
Topic, the advantages and disadvantages of studying and learning.
This part is your question. This is the question part. So topic is studying and living in a foreign. This is my theme.
Okay.
Discuss the merits and demerits of online education. Online education is a theme. Question is discuss the merits and demerits. So this topic, advantage, disadvantage, is your question. You have to, topic is studying and living in a foreign country. Okay. This part you have to paraphrase. Now we have generated the keywords, alternatives of it. Picking up from there, you have to make a proper sentence and link it with the template sentence is relatively a new concept. Got it? So this sentence, paraphrase and write it, is relatively a new concept. Can you all try? How can you make it? Instead of writing studying, what else I can write? Instead of writing living, what else I can write? All of which are given here. You've done the groundwork. Foreign country. Make a sentence. Come up with some sentence. Swarna and Fatima.
I didn't get you, ma'am.
See, this is the theme of the topic, studying and living in a foreign country. This theme you have to paraphrase. So how to do the paraphrasing? By finding the alternatives that we have already done, using them, we have to paraphrase the given topic, keeping the meaning same and link it with our template sentence, which is relatively a new concept. Okay, this is my template sentence, relatively a new concept. This part has to be linked with the paraphrase thing. Paraphrasing means using the alternatives of the given words in the topic and make it into a meaningful sentence, which has the same meaning as what the topic theme is. Meaning should not get changed. The words should get altered. Did I able to make you understand, both of you?
Yeah.
So if you see the words here, can you make a sentence with these words and connect it with is relatively a new concept?
Seeking higher degrees and earning a livelihood in the broad.
In abroad, yes. Seeking higher degrees and earning a livelihood in faraway places is relatively a new concept. In overseas, in abroad is relatively a new concept. Very good. Yeah, seeking higher degrees. That's what I've done it, seeking higher degrees. Or you can say pursuing higher education and settling in distant nations is relatively a new concept. That also we can say distant nations were there. Settling down is also there, and other words are there. So therefore, pick up the words that you have already thought of as alternatives. Create a sentence. This is not difficult, but yes, you need to have at least 4 to 5 alternatives, which will help you in throughout your essay in creating the different words instead of using studying, staying, studying, living. This you can use some alternatives. But if you can't get more than say 3 or 4, you need to space it out, not try to repeat it very frequently. Okay, Swarna, is it clear? So like she said, seeking higher degrees we're taking and earning a livelihood, okay, in abroad is relatively a new concept. Clear? This is what my topic is, studying and living in a foreign country. This topic I am paraphrasing with the alternatives, keeping the meaning same. Is it understandable?
Ma'am,
Yes, tell me.
exactly how many maximum how many alternatives should we write?
At least I would say 4 to 5. A minimum of 5. I mean, minimum of 4 would be better. Max is 5 you can get in that exam if you can for words. But some words like you may not have alternatives. Don't bother with that. Like pollution, you may not have proper alternative. In that cases, you can say with examples. Noise pollution, you can say air pollution. This way you need to express. Because word pollution, it's very difficult to paraphrase, having alternatives for that. Similar words like you can say animals. Okay, animals also you can't get much alternatives. You will have to write like in the form of 4-legged creatures. You can say domestic animals. You can say wild animals. This way you will have to write. Are you getting me?
Yes.
Yeah. So minimum of 4 would be better. I mean, max to max 5, but not more than that is needed, I feel. I mean, if you want to generate, you can, but what comes to you naturally. If it takes you time, don't get, don't spend too much time in generating alternatives. Then you will have less time for idea generation and then in writing also. Okay, so coming back to the template sentence. Swarna, is it clear how we paraphrase the topic sentence?
Ma'am.
Try to understand. We're choosing the alternatives. We're choosing the keywords, find out the alternatives, and using those alternatives, we are creating the paraphrase theme. So seeking higher education and settling down in abroad or earning a livelihood in abroad is relatively a new concept. But, and follow the same point, full stop, be in capital, but in comma, in more recent times, comma, this trend has gained momentum, comma, thanks to multifarious reasons. Multifarious will be hyphenated compound word, so please use it in that pattern. However, there are both advantages and disadvantages too. Again, the theme, you will have to write it here. This theme and this theme should not be similar. Okay, try to write different word for here. Okay, so however, there are both advantages and disadvantages too. And already I have told the purpose of traveling abroad. Reason is seeking higher education, earning a livelihood. So what I want to say it here is that, however, there are both advantages and disadvantages to traveling to distant places or migrating, because we're migrating for studying also to stay for at least minimum 2 years in a foreign lands. So traveling would be more incorrect because traveling can have vacation purpose also. So we can say migrating overseas. Okay. However, there are both advantages and disadvantages to migrating overseas. Clear? The simple, the theme becomes very short. Okay. In some cases, you might have to write again the theme with alternative words. Here, because it is a kind of migration we are doing, by kind of immigrating to foreign lands, either for earning a livelihood or for studying purpose. So I'm using this words. But in some essays, some essay topics, you might not get that one single word to put it clear. Then you have to again paraphrase the theme and use some alternatives that we have generated and rewrite it clearly. Okay, is it understandable? Introduction, any doubts on introduction?
No, ma'am.
Clear? Okay, coming to body para 1, advantages. So I'm again asking you, please, if you have any doubts, to ask. Okay.
Okay, okay, ma'am.
In the para 1 advantage, these things should not be given in your exam. You start from here. Okay, start writing from here, from the left hand side, after leaving a one-line spacing. The virtues best taught by. The virtues best taught by theme are plenty. Now here you have to understand what is my first idea. Whether I will write about the quality of education or whether I will write about career prospects. Okay, depending on that, you can put your theme in your body paragraph accordingly. Okay, for example, if I'm talking about quality of education is better, okay, in that case, I will write my theme as acquiring specialized knowledge from foreign universities. I will write like that. Okay, or I will write seeking higher degrees, okay, from foreign universities. That way I will write. So if I'm looking for the quality of education as my first idea, I am writing in terms of gaining knowledge, gaining higher degrees, that as my theme sentence. If I'm looking about career prospects, then I would say the virtues best taught by seeking employment in distant nations, in abroad, or in, what can I say, in alien nations are aplenty. Alien countries are aplenty. Okay, so whatever my idea is, I should put that. That can help you. Otherwise, you're going to repeat the same thing. First, I mean, you can say again, seeking higher education and staying in foreign countries. Or you can say seeking higher degrees and living and residing in far-off nations. So same thing gets repeated too often. So here you can manage. That will help you to shorten your sentences also. And you can simply say about the quality. Here in this case, I have the quality of education. So on that topic, I am writing my first theme sentence. Okay, this is not the one. Yeah. So I'm writing the theme sentence. Okay. In case you are not able to get any theme sentence, then you again paraphrase the theme. The virtues best taught by, okay, gaining specialized knowledge and residing in international places are aplenty. This way also you can write. Okay, this will just increase your sentences or the words in that sentence. That's all I want to say. But since I know my first advantage, I will talk about quality of education. I'm just saying the virtues best taught by enrolling into foreign universities for specialized knowledge are aplenty. Are you getting me? Is it understandable?
Yes, ma'am.
Since my idea here is about quality of education, if you find it difficult, you can write both. You can write the virtues best taught by seeking specialized knowledge from foreign universities, as well as settling down, or as well as residing in foreign regions, foreign territories are aplenty. This way also you can write. There's no harm, but the number of words will increase. That's all. Okay, coming back again. So virtues best taught by enrolling into foreign universities to seek specialized knowledge are aplenty, to gain specialized knowledge are aplenty. The most remarkable merit to this is that, give your first advantage, that is your idea, make it into a sentence now. Idea was there, quality of education. So the most remarkable merit to this is that the quality of education in these institutes are really remarkable and quite different, or you can say are really remarkable, as they emphasis more on practical knowledge rather than theoretical aspects. This is my idea. Okay, the most remarkable merit to this is that such institutions, such means already I'm saying enrolling into foreign universities. So such institutions give more, such institutions provides a really remarkable form of learning by giving more emphasis to practical understanding of subjects rather than theoretical aspects. Okay? Sentence clear, idea clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Now give your example. The example sentence starts like this. Okay, do not see if there's a space after this, continue from there. Do not make a separate sentence like this. It should be a paragraph. Okay, so whenever there are spaces left, continue after the full stop, give a space bar and continue. Okay, To your understanding, we have given in separate sentences, but it has to form into a paragraph. Please remember this. Now, there are innumerable cases that stand, innumerable cases, there are innumerable examples, that's what I'm trying to say, that stand indisputable, there is no dispute, there is no conflict, there is no argument. Testimony means proven fact to what has been claimed here. For instance, give your example. For instance, in a recent research or recent studies, it was found that majority of the well-known foreign universities gives more significance to industrial training, tutorials, project work, group studies, rather than to the traditional lectures. Okay, they give more significance to what kind? They give more significance to industrial training, to project and assignments, okay, rather than to traditional theoretical learning. So which clearly points my idea, which I said, that they give more emphasis on practical understanding of subject rather than theoretical aspects. So because my example says in studies, it has been found that majority of the well-known or reputed institutions across the globe, across the world, give important significance to what? Industrial training, assignments, project work, which are all practical knowledge, gaining practical knowledge, okay, rather than theoretical, rather than traditional lectures. Got it? Example,
Yes.
is it clear? Swarna, is it okay? Swarna, are you able to follow?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, in the same vein, continue. This is a connector, okay? This is a connector. If there's a space here, continue from there. In the same vein, comma, another significantly positive aspect of this is that of staying in a foreign country or living in a foreign country or studying in a foreign country. Another significantly positive aspect of this is that it opened doors to wide range of career opportunities.
Yes.
Okay, it opened doors to wide range of career opportunities and enhances your career prospects. It opened doors to wide range of career opportunities and enhances your career prospects. Last, though by no means the least. This is a self-understandable sentence. I do not have to give an example. But if you want, you can. There is no wrong and right in this. If you want, you can, but make it in the proper sentence. And then if you want, you can write your third idea, or you can simply go to your body paragraph. Okay, depends on whether you have the third idea or not. Otherwise, you can simply make a self-explanatory sentence and then give you a third idea. Last, though by no means the least, one gets to learn about different types of languages, culture, and customs by dwelling in these nations. One means an individual gets to learn, a good collocation gets to learn about a wide range, gets to learn about language, culture, and customs whilst dwelling in these regions. Are you able to understand me? 3 ideas.
Yes, ma'am.
Quality of education, said. Okay, second about the career prospects, and third about this. Okay. Now coming to disadvantages, leave one line spacing and start your disadvantages paragraph with the connector on the other hand. Contrasting connector we are using, that is on the other hand. The potential drawbacks involved in, your theme means the theme of the given topic. Now here, if you again want to write, getting a post-graduation degree or whatever alternatives that we have created, getting technical skills and seeking an accommodation in far-flung or remote countries, this also you can write. Now, if I have thought that I will talk about homesickness and loneliness as my first idea, I can simply say staying in these unknown territories, okay? Or we can say residing in or settling down in unknown territories. What are the drawbacks in that? Only that part also we can say. Why? The reason is, in my first paragraph, I've already explained that enrolling into foreign universities, the benefits are aplenty. That's I said. So here I'm taking the living part. That way I'm putting it. On the other hand, the potential drawbacks involved in settling down in unknown territories, residing, dwelling, getting an accommodation in unknown territories can barely be overlooked. Seeking accommodation in unknown territories. Okay, earning a livelihood, earning a bread and butter in an unknown territories can barely be overlooked. The worst possible loss from this is that. So if you find that this is not possible, you can write the entire theme, but definitely use other alternatives. What you used in introduction, you can use it here because it's spaced out there. Whatever words you used in introduction, if you have dearth of alternatives, if you have scarcity of alternatives, whatever words you used in your introduction, you can again use it here. It will not be a problem. But do not use it in the body para 1 because it becomes closely repetitive in that case. Clear? So please space it out in case you have less of words. On the other hand, the potential drawbacks involved in settling down in unknown territories, okay, or earning a livelihood in unknown territories, or residing in unknown territories, residing in remote nations can barely be overlooked. The worst possible loss from this is that, most immigrants feel a sense of loneliness and homesickness when they settle down overseas. Okay. Am I clear, both of you? The worst possible loss from this is that most immigrants, because you're coming from a different country, immigrant. Most immigrants feel a sense of loneliness and homesickness when they settle down overseas, when they reside, when they live, start to live in overseas. That also you can say. At this juncture, citing an example would be apt to strengthen the claim made here. At this juncture, at this point, giving an example would be apt to strengthen the claim made here. In recent reports published by World Health Organization, recent reports published by healthcare professionals, it has been found that majority of the non-native residents suffer from a sense of anxiety, stress, and other kinds of harmful diseases due to their inability to acclimatize with the conditions of the foreign lands. Okay, at this juncture, citing an example would be apt to strengthen the claim made here. In recent report published by healthcare industry, or you can say World Health, there's no problem, fictitious example can always be done. In recent reports published by healthcare industry or by World Health Organization, it has been found that majority of the non-native residents suffer from a sense of anxiety, stress, as they're unable to acclimatize with the surrounding conditions of the foreign land, surrounding environment of the foreign land. Am I able to make myself clear? They feel a sense of loneliness. Why they feel a sense of loneliness? Because they are unable to adjust with the culture, with the climate, with the food, all these things, with the language also. Okay, so they feel a sense of loneliness, right? Like for example, if you speak Telugu and you go to a northern part of our country, won't you feel a fish out of water kind of situation? Like you won't find Telugu speaking people much in northern part of India. So that is a situation that you are going through when you go to a foreign country. Of course, there are Telugu communities in foreign countries a lot, but initially you will have that kind of thinking, where to see Telugu people. Okay, that is the norm that people see. And once you find a community, you will adjust. But initially, that's the problem. Yeah, so most of the non-native citizens, okay, most non-native residents do find that is a very difficult task to adjust, to accommodate themselves with the surrounding conditions, or to acclimatize with the surrounding conditions. And that's lead to their anxiety, stress, and all these things. Okay. And the worst possible loss from this is that, my idea was very clear, that most possible is that most immigrants suffer from sense of loneliness and homesickness as they start to live They have just started to live in a foreign country. They feel this. Maybe after 6 months or 1 year, they will adjust. But when they start to live, they have this kind of difficulties. Clear, both of you?
Yes.
Besides, another perilous implication from this is that, there is a sense of insecurity in staying in these lands, staying in these faraway lands, as due to the growing racial conflicts. There's a sense of insecurity in staying in these lands due to the growing racial discrimination, growing racism, growing racial conflicts, any of the words you can use. Okay. Last, though by no means the least, the cost of living, the cost of accommodation, the cost of residing in these international places are quite exorbitant, use the word quite exorbitant. Okay. If you want to write a little further more, you can also say an individual has to do both full-time and part-time jobs in order to meet up their quality of living, basic quality of living. An individual has to do both full-time and part-time jobs in order to meet the basic quality of living. That is what we say, it's quite exorbitant to reside in our international places. Clear? The 3 ideas we have given: loneliness, homesickness. We talked about how racial conflicts also create anxiety in the minds of people. And we also talked about that cost of living is quite exorbitant. So all the disadvantages we have said, advantages. Both the paragraphs clear to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm again telling you, if the space is there, continue from there. Do not write in this way. Okay, this is just to make you understand. We have kept the separate sentences, but you need to write as a paragraph format. Okay, continue if you have space after that. Give a space bar and continue. Okay, coming to the conclusion sentence, that is the last sentence here. This sentence you will have to write. Therefore, persuaded by all the points discussed hitherto and driven by my personal experiences as well. Punctuations, please be careful. What I would like to state vehemently is that, what I would like to state strongly is that your viewpoint. What is your viewpoint? Traveling to distant nations in order to pursue one's dreams. Okay, your viewpoint. Now, your view is what we have given: support or oppose. Do you really want to travel to foreign country in order to acquire higher qualifications, or you feel it is not worthy to settle down in foreign countries? So either you support or you oppose. You cannot go both ways. Okay, so in the conclusion, what will you write? Therefore, comma, persuaded by all the points discussed hitherto, comma, and driven by my personal experiences as well, comma, what I would like to state vehemently is that since the positives outnumber, continue, okay, this is continuation. Here it's capital, but to continue from there after that with S in small letter. Since the positives outnumber and outweigh the perceived negatives, and also since these negatives can easily be redressed, can be redressed means can be managed, can be controlled. Okay, traveling to distant nations to pursue one's dreams is certainly worth sought after. Pursue one's dreams means either for education or for earning a livelihood is certainly worth sought after. Okay, so that is what I am writing in short. I do not write again studying and living. I'm just saying traveling to distant nation to pursue one's dreams. One's dream can be to work in a foreign country. One's dreams can be to study in a foreign country. Am I clear?
Yes.
So this is connection from here. Please remember this. Do not try to write your view. This is not there. This has your view is this one only. This is your view. Okay. Or you may write, you do not find it advantageous. You find disadvantage. You will write, since the negatives outnumber, just the opposite. Since the negatives outnumber and outweigh the perceived positives, and also negatives are too detrimental, dangerous, to be ignored. Okay, immigrating to far off countries for the purpose of gaining higher qualifications and better career opportunities is indeed not as meritorious as it is often made out. Okay, so either you support or you oppose. Only any one has to be chosen. Any one, do not write both of them. Okay, any one. Either you support that yes, it's advantageous to travel to foreign countries to pursue one's dreams, or it's disadvantageous because it's detrimental to immigrate to foreign countries to complete higher education as well as or to work in these regions is indeed not as meritorious as it is often made out. Am I clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand this essay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I just want you, both of you, Swarna, also please try this handout. You both have you received PDF booklet?
Yes, ma'am, I have received.
Swarna, you must have this also. So can you all just write this essay and submit it to us? Okay, please take a screenshot of your groundwork that we have done. And can you just write the essay and send it to us so I can understand whether you have followed the classroom activity? You can
Okay,
take a
ma'am.
screenshot of this, both of you. Is it done?
Yeah.
Okay. Take the screenshot of this.
Yeah.
Taken. Swana, taken.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, take the disadvantage screenshot and then try to write the essay following the template. Okay, and submit to us. And then we can just check whether you are able to understand the classroom activity or not.
Yeah.
Okay, tomorrow I'm going to start with type 1 essay. So type 2 is done. Any other topics, if you want to write on type 1, even that is also welcome. But how far you followed the template sentences and how we connected the template sentence with our ideas. I just want to see whether you are able to make it meaningful or not. Okay. Do you have any email ID on which you can send? Have you received any email IDs? Or you can submit it to sir's, Rajnikant sir, WhatsApp number you have?
No, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Fatima has it.
Yes, ma'am, I have.
Okay. So, Swarna, you don't have it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can send it in this number. Let me just share you with the email ID, that will be better. I'm sharing the email ID to both. You can send it there. Can you all see the email ID?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, please send your work in this ID. And
Ma'am,
yes, tell me.
should we write the same given or else we can add anything else?
If you want, you can write, okay, same given ideas you're talking. Same given ideas or what you are, I didn't get your question clearly, Fatima. Hello?
Can we make some slight changes or else we can add
Yes,
something
yes,
else?
yes. That's all. That's completely fine. You want to add your own ideas, want to add your own words, that's completely fine. So long it's synced with the topic, everything is acceptable. Okay. And if you want any other essay to be written on type 2, that is advanced disadvantages, even that is also welcome. Both you can do it. Okay.
Okay.
Fine. Then I'll see you tomorrow, and we'll start with type 1 in tomorrow's session. In that case, okay, which is your agree disagree type.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay. Thank